Okay, hello. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our tutorial on our question bank. So, first of all, welcome to our question bank. It is called TC Exam. This is an open source software that Sir Nolly and I have deployed. So, today, I will teach you how to use this software. So, first things first is how do we log in? So, you can connect to engineering faculty Wi-Fi and use the URL. It's in our Blackboard and use the username and password that's provided there for everyone to use. So for now, I'll be using the following username and password and I will log in. So you will be greeted by this screen over here where you will see all of the licenses. So anyways, this is a permissive license, so we are allowed to use this software for free, no, and even deploy it for our university. So this is what they call a permissive copyleft license, no, not copyright. So first things first is once you are in, what you would like to do is probably create your own account. So over here, if you go to the tab users over here, you will see that you will have the following options: users, groups, select, online, and import. So what you want to do is you want to go to users and click over here the following drop down box. And here, if you click on plus, you'll be allowed to create your own user. So over here, you can create your username, your email, your password, etc., etc. So I'll just create here our username. I'll just ignore that. So over here it says level. So for that level, you can see that there's uh more notes over here at the bottom. So level 1 will give you a basic user like a student, and level 10 as an admin. So as faculty, you give yourselves level 10 so you can access everything in our software. And over here, registration number, you can leave this blank. Now, for the rest of the fields, it's advised that you fill it up because the system needs it for its purposes of running purposes, of course. So place of birth, and then over here we have groups. So for the groups, this is where we can group either the test takers. Yes, so for now, we can leave it, our group here as default. But for students, not test takers, you can group them together because later we will be able to assign tests to groups. Or in other words, in this case, the groups will be their section. So just click on add. And over here, you can see once you are greeted with this blue screen or this QR code and there's no error message, it means you were successfully added. Now we can also add a student. So I'll just call this one Juan de la Cruz. Now this one will be our test taker. But before we do that, we should create a group first for the student. So over here we have to create a group. You just go to users and go to group. So over here I'll just call this one section 1, for example, or student section 1. I'll click on add. So now we have a student section 1 available. So we'll just go back here to our users and click on here our username student 1. And password, I'll just give it password for the student, then give it level 1, Juna de la Cruz, and then date of birth. I'll just give it another date of birth in place of birth. Now we're in the groups. You just click on the student section and then I'll just click on add. Now the student is now part of student section 1. Okay, so now we created two users, which we can view over here. We have uh, De La Cruz Juna, student one, and Parenthesis Daniel Acer. So anyways, that's how you can create group users and their usernames. So for now, I'll just log out and log in with my account. So that was Acer and my password. So there, I am now logged in, and you can confirm over here that the user that is logged in is currently Acer. So now that you have users, now for students, for the student one, we can also try logging in for student one. And when they log in, right now it says we are logged in student one, but there's nothing here. That's because we forgot to change our level. So we just go back here to our users. We select student one, and over here we have level one. Oh no, it's level one. Okay, so anyways, if you wanted to change any information regarding the student, you just click here, check, and click on update to change the student level. So for example, if I were to click zero here and click update, you'll get this message that the user data has been updated and that level is now zero. So I'll just click this one to one and change that back. So I'll just log out and then check again student one and enter their password. So over here, if we click here on student, it goes to public there. It says no tests available. So and then as a student, you can only change your email and your password, and you can log out. So excuse the music on the outside. Anyway, once you're inside here, you might find yourself being greeted by this screen test list. Okay, I'm now logged in as a level 10 user. To open the rest of the tabs, just go here to admin and you'll find all of the administrative tabs that are available. So anyways, now that we know how to make users, we are now going to go to the modules. So the modules over here will allow us to create questions, answers, modules, and topics. So questions here are arranged and organized with two levels. They are organized by topics and by modules. So over here first, let's create a module. So the module here is basically like our course. So we can say steel design, for example. And of course, it's going to ask for an owner. So I'll just add here. We now have a module for steel design. Now over here at the bottom right, and over here on the bottom right, you can see here what something says topics management. So you just click on topics management, and over here you can name a topic. So for example, the questions here I have prepared are, for example, something like this. So we're going to compute for the allowable strength for the angles. So over here, I'll just include here connections, tensile, tension members, design of tension members. So we can add here a description. For example, uh, this chapter is dealing in the design of steel members under tension. So I'll just click on add And this is now a topic. So I can confirm that there's now design of tension members under steel design. Now I can go to question management. In question management, as long as you're here in the plus, you can add in a new question. So now we have our course, steel design. Then we have here our topic number one, design of tension steel members. We can then just add the following image. So to add an image, we can just insert this one. We can click on this one, this button over here. It says object. It will open this file manager where we can upload images. So anyways, I'll just click on browse over here. And then I will just navigate to our questions. So I'll just click on this one. I'll click send. Okay, and now it's here. It's labeled for .png. So I'll just click on add, and there it's now inserted there as object for .png. So once we have our question, we can just click on add, and this is what it will look like. Preview. So over here we have the question. So now we have one question, and we can add another question by just simply clicking on the question drop down box here and clicking on the plus button, and then we can add another question. So over here, I'll just double check. So right now it has the following names. So I just suggest now if we are going to use this, we have to rename the following. Just just rename the figures. No, rename. Okay, so we are in the file manager again. Just click on browse. Just click on figure one, and then send this one, and then just add. Click on add. So over here we now have our question fig1.png. Over here in our object, here you'll see some numbers. That's simply the size of our image. So you can edit that if you want to resize the image. So anyways, I'll just click on add, and we have the following. So now we have our question and our figure. Now, additionally, we can also add text questions. Okay, so sorry, damo, sabad-sabad sigwa. Anyway, we are going to add another question. So over here, we can add in here a text question. So for example, for this one, what year was the code? Well, we can just write here. What code is used for regulating the design of steel structures in the Philippines? Okay, so we can also have a question with text only. So here we have a preview. So anyways, we now have the following three questions. So we can create the following questions. Now, what's next? We want to answer, deal with our answers. So for our TC exam, uh, we have the following kinds of questions. So if we go to the website over here, technic.com, we can find plenty of documentation about this. But anyway, we just have to navigate here to TC exam, go to documentation, and over here we have question types. So we have the following question types. So we have the following question types that is being supported. We have multiple choice single answer, multiple choice multiple answers, ordering, Okay, so we can also have the following where you can order. And finally, we have text. So we have one, two, three, four. So we have the following possible questions that we can make. So once we are here in our multiple answer management, we can simply just choose the following question. So over here we have S object. So that was question number one. And then we have question number two and question number three.